Welcome back, everyone, to the end of Planar Crossroads. We are bouncing back in, as it were, to our game, Rise of the Runelords. We are coming out of the downtime, and we're going to branch more into the actual part of Rise of the Runelords, the second one. I think it's called...
The Skin Saw Massacre?
No, the Skin Saw Murders.
I was close.
You was close, but no cigar. So, we're going to be jumping into that one soon. There's just a couple housekeeping checks that we got to do for crafting, and then we'll be going into that. So, let me see. Last time, they were cleaning up some of their mess that had been left behind. They had failed to kill a Vorgile in the beneath the glassworks in the Catacombs of Wrath. So it had gotten out, and the times that they were gone and not watching or looking for it, there were a few beggars that disappeared, and they had become Vorgiles, and the other one had gotten bigger and a bit more powerful from his abilities to, I don't know, improve his influence over the others and build himself a little following. But they took care of that. Got a little XP, more XP than they would have gotten if they'd done it in the first place. But that's okay. That is okay. They are still fine. I think they're only like level 4 or 5 right now. So,
Four.
Yeah, they're level 4 right now. So I'm not worried at all. So
The fact that you're not worried makes me worried.
Yeah.
well,
It's kind of like,
I'm not
I can
worried.
kill these suckers anytime I want.
Sold Golem.
Anytime. I can kill you anytime and it'd be fine.
Sold
That's
Golem.
right, y'all don't even know where Nualia is. So, and your best infiltrator, the bird, has been cursed this whole time, along with his
No,
with his love interest.
we were cursed together.
His love interest, the
It
fox.
was a
So,
beautiful fairy tale right out of a Disney movie.
it's beautiful.
Wait till they
Beautiful
die.
cursing. All right. But yes, that's mainly what we covered last time, was just some downtime things going on there. And Ratapalooza. You guys revived Titka's rat. So it's mainly everything that happened.
It's indirectly Magpie's fault that session got so derailed.
Could have just left it alone. I mean,
Way to go, Magpie.
Yeah. Could have just left it alone.
Jeez.
Perhaps you would have kept an ally, perhaps not. She
Now
wasn't
we've got
thinking.
2 new allies.
yes, the rat.
All right. So we are going to come right into the story then. We're going to...
Well,
we have to do some checks.
yes, some
We have to do
checks.
some checks. So let me see. Emmy has been working on trying to create a spell. So you're going to need to get me some spellcraft checks for that.
Spellcraft, eh?
We're going to do a challenge of 3, and it's the best of 3. Not the best of 3. You have to succeed at 2 of the challenges, at least, to succeed at this first portion of your construction.
I think I did another portion before.
I think you're right.
Where
I think you, when you first started it, brought it up
success
to me.
and 1 crit fail in the same
Yeah.
round.
All right. That's right.
So that was spellcraft.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh. Ouch.
You just can't seem to make progress with this curse going on and stuff like that. Your brain's been a bit foggy, and you just haven't had the kind of focus that you would want to have to really dig into the magic of what you would need to do and the energies of it. You couldn't
Fair
get
enough.
the sorceress blood pumping, but that is that. And then I needed some smithing checks from our Paladin. He's wanting to construct some special armor that is outside of his purview. Mazus constructing stuff is a different matter, but him constructing things, yeah. he's got to have that.
Oh, in terms of adding on the plate and what have you, right?
Right. You wanted to incorporate this breastplate in your plate armor,
Yes.
which I said
yeah.
was possible given the appropriate checks.
No, yeah. No, I was just double checking because my head's yeah. All right, so 3 checks, and I just want to pull up my skill because good to have that number. Okay. The first roll's an 18.
Okay.
Second roll a total of 19.
Okay.
And the third roll is a 21.
Yeah, use them now. Use them
15,
now.
16, and 18.
All right. So you make some good progress. In fact, the smith you're working under, Art, I think his name is, he is impressed with your work. That's the way you do it. So he's quite impressed. I'm sure that Wayko was watching the whole time, also quite impressed.
Always impressed.
But always impressed. So you're definitely making headway on getting that to fit in and work. You're not trying to attach anything yet, simply because you're going to end up not being able to use that breastplate until it's all in there.
Mm-hmm.
So you kind of waiting to do the attachments until you have a bit more of a working time to do that with.
Okay, so
but you have made headway.
So for the sake of this, as of right now, I still will be wearing the breastplate. I'm still working on this as we move forward then?
Yeah. So what you can do is you can make yourself a little note, like breastplate plus full plate, and you can put 1 mark beside it as you've succeeded 1 time. The same can be done for your project that you're working on, Emmy, if you want to do that.
Wait, what? I zoned out for a second. I was reading.
Your project, you've already got 1 success on it. So if you have like a little mark beside it to let you know you've got 1 success so far.
Okay.
Because this one did not count. You kind of balance. You didn't hit the mark, but you also did not go low enough to
go backwards.
Detrimentally affect your objective.
Okay.
So, okay, that's taken care of. Does anyone else have anything that they were going to do through the downtime before we pick it up? Because we are going to pick it up with a chat with the sheriff. So
just some minor shopping, like pen, stuff like that.
Yeah, I wanted to know if I could get a hold of a spring-loaded wrist sheath.
Let me see. Oh, I need to get my dice. That would be good. I'm playing a game. I'll roll it on here real quick. But let me see. You can definitely get one. It take a couple days, but you've got days. You are still within the curse period at the moment, is when all this is happening.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you can order one.
That works for me. We'll
Okay.
put that on my sheet and everything.
All right. So you got that. Let me see. Anything that Wayko or Mazus wanted to do?
I mean, he's crafting the magic stuff. It's not,
Right.
Not very exciting.
No.
Wayko should be all right. I thought he was going to dedicate some time to some sort of studies, but I imagine he got distracted from that.
Probably. Titka has been, I wouldn't say stir crazy, but she's been wanting to do some things, now that she's feeling better and has Rat back.
We go pick dandelions or something.
Okay, you go pick dandelions. She is unfamiliar with what a dandelion crown is, and I'm pretty sure that Wayko could easily show her.
Gives us something to do.
Mm-hmm. All right. So we're going to pick right up in then. Erin has been keeping up her studies with Mr. Quink, who she has continued to call Mr. Quink per your instructions, boss man. So with all that accomplished, Sheriff Hemlock comes in to the... Well, y'all come downstairs. It's late morning. It's not... It's getting closer to 11 o'clock or noon when this happens. You guys are downstairs, apparently, and had been busy doing things, but fortuitously, you are all in the Rusty Dragon for this moment, and the sheriff comes in right about that time, just before the lunch is starting to hit, and he says, I'm glad you're all here at this particular moment. Can we speak in private?
Certainly, Sheriff. Is it another Vorgile, or is it?
I don't think so. It's definitely not what we would expect from one.
You
Just,
certainly seem troubled. However, I can help, or we can help potentially.
well, you can help by putting a shirt back on before we go into the room.
Well, I'm sorry. Let me get a towel first, rather than pass the stink.
I'm reminded
Thank
of
you.
something. I believe we were paid weekly.
Yes, and if you want to discuss that, you would need to talk with the mayor. But we've got to have something to address. I will come with you.
I thought you were our employer.
No, I don't handle purse strings.
I work for the king.
No,
Just
have to
a
talk to the
pawn.
mayor.
Just a pawn like the rest.
Oh.
He just lets out a sigh and goes into the back room that Amiko has kind of gestured him into. You can tell that Amiko. Well, make me a perception check. Anybody who cares to make one.
Starting this session off with a blazing 6.
All right.
Me too on that one.
My. Oh, did someone get a good one? No.
I
No,
did.
a terrible one.
My bird eyes see a 23.
Okay.
My
So
human
only
eyes
Mazes,
sees a 21.
and only Mazus and
Magpie.
Magpie, and you kind of think Titka notices too that Amiko, who was leaning like this as the sheriff came in, seemed to have been watching more closely rather than the door. The Paladin, as he was walking around talking to you guys shirtless, and then walking upstairs.
We
Goes
gotta get
back.
out of this town, man. This place. We're all gonna settle down. It's gonna be terrible.
You're going to end up playing Pathfinder Sims version.
Oh God. Gideon gets coffee.
That or maid.
Please, Amiko, tell me someone's died.
All right. So, you guys are appropriately clothed and you're heading into the back room. He doesn't even have one of the deputies that he usually has with him. They all seem to be busy. In fact, they've been kind of busy these past week or so, at least. It's almost been a week and a half since you saw a real heavy presence. It was like after the attacks and everything was taken care of, they were real busy for a little, really prominent in town. And then thinking back, the presence that you noticed kind of went down quite a bit. And he actually addresses this as you guys come into the room and close it. He says, I suppose everyone, as the door closes, has noticed that the guards have been a bit spread thin lately.
I definitely have.
Well,
No comment?
we have the greater ones collected here. So
He just rolls his eyes and sits down on at one of the chairs at the table, and he kind of composes himself for a minute, takes a deep breath, and then opens his eyes and looks at you all and says, first, let me thank you again for all you've done for Sandpoint. It's been really fortunate you've proven yourself so capable, because we've got a problem I think you can help us with that's been very troubling. A problem I wish we didn't have to involve anyone with, but one that definitely needs dealing with now before the situation grows worse. Simply put, we have a murderer in our midst. One I fear has only begun to work. Some of you doubtless remember the late unpleasantness, how this town nearly tore itself apart in fear as the choppers' slayings went on unanswered. And we'll pause here if anyone wants to make a knowledge local check, because few people passed this the first time.
At a modified
Natural
25.
20.
And a
Knowledge
natural
local for who?
chopper.
I only got a 13. I am not very clever. Smart. I'm not very smart. I'm very clever, not very smart.
Okay. All right. So, is Emmy rolling for that one or not?
The best I
She
could
doesn't
get
have to.
possibly would be a 10, anyways. So
Okay. So, both Malcolm, everybody's kind of heard mention of the late unpleasantness. They're not talking about the Goblin raid when they're talking about that. They're in fact talking about a few years ago where a lot of bad stuff happened right together. That's the same. They're talking about the combined things of the murders, the serial murders of a man named the Chopper, the death of Amiko's mother, and you know that general thing. The whole town seemed to be affected by an air of just anger,
And they
not
never
just at
found
the
it.
unpleasantries, but he was found on Chopper's Isle, which is why no one goes to Chopper's Isle anymore. It was the isle where he was, and the 20s and above know that yeah, this guy was a local. He did lots of nice bird sculpture, bird word work that has been taken down since it was found out that he was the Chopper, and everybody liked him. Everybody thought he was a great guy, but all the clues ended up leading back to him one night, and he was found to be a serial murderer. So,
Normal guy, happy guy,
That's-
had a lot of lampshades.
yeah. Yeah. So that's what they're referring to with the recent unpleasantries.
I got a belt made out of nipples. I'll make a shoehorn from your shins.
So next, he continues by saying, I'm afraid we might have something similar brewing now. Last night, the murderer struck at the sawmill. There are 2 victims, and they're in pretty gruesome shape. The bodies were discovered by one of the mill workers named Iber Thorn. And by the time my men and I arrived in the scene, a crowd of curious gawkers had already sprung up. I've got my men stationed there now, keeping the mill locked down. But the thing that bothers me isn't the fact that we have 2 dead bodies inside. It's the fact that this was actually the second set of murders we've had in the last few days. I come to you for help in this matter. My men are good, but they're also green. They're barely able to handle themselves against the goblins, and what we're facing now is an evil far worse than goblins. I need the help, but I'm afraid that you'll need help too. You see, I'm afraid that this particular murderer knows one of you as well.
And how's that,
Magpie?
Sheriff?
How do you know he knows one of us? They know one of us.
He takes out from in his leathers a piece of paper, slaps it onto the table, and slides it toward the group of you. On this parchment that is tanned and seemingly normal everyday parchment, there's a very unnatural red brightness to a smeared word, Deckar.
Oh, you're next.
Ah, you found out! It was me all along. Wait, what?
Oh, kill him!
No,
You know
Yeah.
that's
it's a folded piece of parchment with Deckar's name on it, and just kind of motions you to read it. And let me see if I have the correct one for you. Have it under handouts, I believe.
Need some Scooby-Doo background music. Bottom, bottom. No, that's the Pink Panther. I'm dumb. Bottom, 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 bottom.
You're distracting me from writing the handout. Come on now, guys. Okay, so only the middle one is what we will say is applying here. So I will show to players. The others don't apply to this situation.
We have spoken of this before, my master. Now it begins. Join the pack, and it will end, your lordship.
Yes.
Are you sure the top one doesn't apply?
The top one does not apply.
I'm a little bit confused. And this is in regards to Deckar.
Apparently.
Well, I'm not of noble birth, so this must
I
be
believe-
mistaken.
I believe it's signed, your lordship. That's what this person seems to be calling himself.
Well, it must be a ruse then, or some kind of false identity, because rich people never murder people.
And they
They
never,
almost never.
Thank God.
and they never suck up to other people.
That's definitely true. They suck up to other people, and they definitely do not lose their minds and murder their servants. Still, as a topic of note, do you know where your apprentice is? Because chances are we want to keep her nearby. In the least, ask her some questions.
She hasn't spilled blood on her parchments. This can't be her.
Well, that's
I
fair.
don't believe that was the insinuation.
That being said, if they know who you are, they know who your apprentice is.
And they know who we are. Who do
Oh, I don't care about you.
I don't care about you. I care about me
Of course.
and her.
You. Gross.
What?
Case in point, we should get to your workshop, not with post haste, but with certainly some
this-
haste.
This is certainly very disconcerting, Sheriff. Where was this found?
It was found at the most recent murder site.
Now, you mentioned 2 murders. Which was the first one, then?
2 sets of murders.
Ah.
It was this one. It happened at the sawmill last night. There was another. It happened along the. It happened in a barn on the way from Goldaria.
Is there any connection between the two?
We believe so. You'll see the distinguishing features of these murders when you come with me.
I can't wait.
Very well. Lead on.
All right. He gets
We
scoots
should,
out.
Mazus apprentice is at.
Okay. All right. So he gets up, scoots out, and starts walking. Goes out to the door and comes out into the common area of Rusty Dragon. Little halfling, the elderly halfling is scrubbing up the bar, starting to serve the patrons that are coming in for the lunch rush.
Well, where's she at?
All right, y'all go. Who goes poking around for her, or does everybody go poking around for the apprentice?
I assume she's in my room doing her studies.
All right, do you check?
I check.
All right, you go up, and she does not appear to be at her desk.
Okay. And Baron isn't in here either.
Nope.
Where was Amiko was at the sheriff's office with us?
Amiko?
No.
This
it was at
isn't the
the end.
sheriff's office. Yeah,
No, I know we're at the inn now, but when we were talking to the sheriff earlier.
he met you guys at the inn, come looking for you at the inn.
Oh, okay.
And you went to a back room at the inn. That's why I said Amiko was there watching Gideon.
Yeah.
I was missing a critical piece of information. I was very confused as to why she was at the sheriff's office.
We have been the whole time, but we only went up, or Mazus went upstairs just now to check and see if the apprentice was in there. She wasn't. She's probably dead, but we could perhaps check the old fellow. Not her uncle. Definitely.
Not grandfather. Amiko, do you know where the young girl that belongs to Mazus went?
Belongs to him? I thought she was his ward.
I don't know. There was some sort of exchange that went on, and now she's here. I don't care enough to actually ask.
Where's his ward?
I don't know where his charge is, but she had mentioned something about going and seeing. She goes to see Brodert often, so maybe she's over his house. Keeping him
Not
busy,
the uncle.
hopefully. Yeah, the not uncle.
Very good. Thank you. One more thing, Amiko, if you could do me a favor. If the boys come around, you know the ones I'm talking about, please tell them not to go anywhere they shouldn't be. Tell them I said that.
You do realize how vague that instruction is,
Yes, incredibly.
and how their little brains are going to twist it according to your roguish tendencies.
I trust them.
All right, your funeral, she says. I'll tell them.
They're smarter than they. Well, okay, the younger one is smarter than he looks. The big one's kind of.
He is as smart as he looks.
Well, he certainly looks.
To the old coot.
Do we have maybe an article of thing that might have your charges sent on it? Erin, I believe her name was.
I mean, there is her cot, her clothes.
I was gonna say, grab the pillowcase. The rest of us are gonna walk the quinks.
I will go ahead and grab the and
Grab the what?
grab the pillowcase from her bed real quick and show it to Luvese. See
Okay.
if she can get sort of a pin on where she might be. And I totally forgot to put the skills hot button in here. Oh well.
Okay. Well,
So that would be what kind of a check?
the fox would need to make a survival check to be able to track by scent.
Survival, and then
Oh, the fox.
I get +4
Wait.
when tracking by scent, so I'll put that in.
Yes. Oh. Dropped out.
So that's a 12.
Okay. Does that include the +4 or no?
Yes. Unfortunately, I already put it in. I think. Let's hover over it. No, it does not.
Okay. So you get a. She kind of. And kind of looks up at you, kind of asking what you want, kind of thing.
Do you think you can track down where this individual is?
She smells again. And trots out towards the door.
Was that a yes? Or
Hang on.
What's that, Luvesi? Aaron's stuck down the well.
Well, in Fox, no
Again?
also like yes.
I'm back.
Okay.
I think we should follow, see where she goes.
Okay.
With any luck, she'll lead us straight to Brodert's. Hopefully, that's where she's at.
Well, as you trot down, she's not specifically hard to find. You get some looks that they're only every time you get looks, it's like they last a little less long and a little less long and a little less long. You did not say you were disguising yourself today. I'm assuming you did.
Yeah, do you want me to roll for that?
Yeah, go ahead and roll to see how good it is, but you still, even if you were untransformed, you would be getting a little less of a look each time. They kind of give you guys a wide berth because they're never really sure what's going to happen around you guys anymore. So they love and respect most of you, but the citizens kind of space.
Misfortune has a strange habit of following us around.
Yes.
Also,
Well,
isn't not like just because I'm confused. Isn't your shape-shifting thing just like a spell-like ability that you can just do?
it is, but I make a disguise check with 10 to it.
Oh, okay.
yeah, it's just a bonus.
Yeah.
So you head on, and as you're going through, you get a disguise check with a +10, you said? There's a +15 in there somewhere. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
The 15 are perk investment or rank investments.
Let me check. I
We can
wrote
straighten
it
it
down
out
in here.
later.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, we can straighten it out. The fox is not hard to follow, especially since she's this ashy gray against this dark brown dirt, which you kind of lament just a little bit because, dang it, her paws were clean all day. So you follow her, and she does indeed lead you down and around, kind of not even a meandering path, kind of leads you almost straight to Quink. There is this kind of stop that she makes and kind of spins around at the clothing store that is passed on the way to Quink, and then she goes around and on.
Hmm.
And
Okay,
yeah,
so that's
she gets to Quink's store and she goes,
all right. Thank you, Luvese. Stay close, and I'll have her sort of hop back into the pouch.
okay. So she does. Oh, who is it? Who is it?
Your favorite student?
Aaron?
No, the second favorite. Or third, I'm not sure.
All right, student. Hold on. You hear a clatter in there.
Hey, wait, if you thought Aaron was at the door.
Get out from under my feet, cat. And he gets to the door and he goes, opens it up. And who are you? Oh, you came by just yesterday. Come in. And you brought your friends. Oh, I haven't seen you since yesterday either. Come on,
That's
come
nice
on
to
in.
get such frequent visitors.
So he motions everybody in.
Erin doesn't happen to be here, does she?
Erin? No, she was here earlier. She's not here now.
What? Did she tell you where she left?
She said she'd be back tomorrow. But she said that yesterday.
Amy, your
That
fox.
doesn't mean anything coming from him.
What's wrong with your fox?
That could have been yesterday. It could have been last month.
Mazus
For a fact,
Mazus will go
wasn't
in.
here yesterday. Yeah. Okay.
Mazus
You
will
go
go
in.
and check for her because she might be there still.
Yeah.
Okay.
He
So
just forgot
you
she
go
was-
in. You go in. You know for a fact she wasn't here yesterday because yesterday was Sunday, which means that no work is done. Well, most people do no work on Sunday. It's a rest day. And you usually let her have the day off. So you go in and poke around. I assume everybody comes in.
Oh, yeah. Wayko
Yeah.
will find
Pass.
Oh!
I learned my lesson.
Oh, Mr. Birdman, you came by just yesterday. Thank you for coming. Are you
Emmy
back for more
will-
tea?
Yes, please. Could you get a pot going? And then she'll sort of gesture to Mazus to look around. It's like,
All right. So he starts poking around. Oh, how has your searching been going? Says, pouring stuff up, getting tea ready.
searching for what exactly?
Weren't you looking down under the glass works about something, or was it that I was supposed to be looking down under the glass works, or was it? No, you were interested in the old light, I think, or you were looking for something. Huh?
The ancient Thessalonian stuff. We did find some ruins underneath the old light.
Oh, did you? He almost drops the plates. Oh, everything just goes onto the ground. Oh, really? Perfect. Oh, can you show me where? Come, girl, come. He grabs your hand, starts getting his cane.
One moment.
his
We
hood.
need to find Aaron's.
Come on. What?
We're here to find Aaron,
Huh?
and then we actually have been tasked by the sheriff to look into something. We can take you after that if you'd like.
Oh, Well, Aaron was here yesterday.
During all this time, does Mazus find anything?
Mazus goes poking around, saying, Aaron, I suppose.
Yep. Got a 23 perception.
All right. All right. So you look around. You look around pretty good. You can definitely see where before it was undisturbed, there was a cup that was almost empty of tea. A little teacup that was about that much. And, that probably was hers, as he keeps his constantly full.
This tea is almost hot.
No, you feel the tea, and it is, it's actually fairly cool. His is warm before he moved it, but that one's cool now. Kind of look around upstairs a bit in the lavatory and things like that, and you don't see her.
Tea is cool. 1, maybe 2 hours ago.
Sure.
Now, is he saying that where we can hear him, or is he...
He's kind of mumbling in his beard.
Detective Deckar.
All right, we're done here.
What? Oh, good. We're done here. Oh, come on, girl. You're going to show me down under the lighthouse and the old light. I have poked around there forever, and he's almost got you out the door.
Not right now, Mr. Quink. I'm sorry, but we do have a matter of great importance to take care of at the moment. But we will be sure to at some point.
Oh, he says, very disappointed. Okay. Well, I kind of looks around. I need to go do some errands anyway. He lets go of your arm. All right, well, I'll just lock it on the way out. Why don't you guys come on out there?
So next time,
For understanding, Mr. Queek.
Oh, yes. No problem. He starts looking out. Where's your bird friend?
I think he hung back. Don't worry.
Yeah, I stayed outside.
Okay. All right.
She was
So-
there,
Then she left.
but she
She,
left some time ago.
You said,
Box a bit more, maybe?
perhaps if I pick up the scent on the tea, maybe,
Well, Quink's locking the door to go run his errands. He said he had to run.
Scent of the tea. Oh.
So Emmy will look at the teacup real quick, sort of get a better scent, perhaps of Aaron's breath on there, a little bit of what have you. And should I roll another survival?
It
Yeah,
would
you're
be a
muted.
survival, yes.
Okay. 19.
All right, that is enough. It was a bit harder. She had to kind of get a sniff, and she kind of and goes on outside.
Okay. Emmy will make sure to follow pretty close.
Okay. Quink locks the door behind every.
If we pass any guards, Mazus will report Erin missing.
Okay. So
Seems a bit early for
close that. And
Maybe she's
she
just
locks the door.
fooling around with the farm boys. No, I mean, like, not like that, but like, off wandering and talking to people, it's a pretty public town.
Well, he locks the door and he starts toddling, and he looks where you guys are going, and then he turns around towards the old light and starts walking that way.
Actually, guys, I think one of us, I might go with Quink. Because it looks like he's going to die alone at the old light right now, so I'm going to go with him real quick.
Oh, I don't think it was ever a question whether or not Quink was going to die alone.
But at the old light, and not just in his armchair, like, I think I'm going to maybe go with him, if that's okay with you, Mazus, whose ward is missing.
I mean, if you really want to, fine. By all
Okay.
means.
All right, well, I'll, if I'm not there, I'll have brought him home, because that's all I'm sure we're going to do. Hey, Quink, wait up, and come with you.
What the? Have I seen you before?
Probably not. I'm very hard to remember. But let's go to the old light together. Maybe look at some old.
Are you interested in Thessalonian architecture as well?
Of course I am. Of course I am. It's amazing. It's the very history of this coast is carved into the stone. Let's go check out the thing, you old curmudgeon.
Well, did you know that? And he starts his lecture up on the basics of Thessalonian architecture and design.
The worse, I'll learn something.
All right. So you go babysit Quink. You go babysit Quink, and you guys follow the scent. She kind of tracks around, and she kind of makes a turn, and has to sniff around a bit, and she goes up and around and down an alley, and you see. Let me see. Oh yeah, you see something, probably a body, lying in the back alley of a place between two kind of boarded up buildings.
No, charming. What kind of dead body?
Do I actually see it, or does Gideon see that, or no?
Gideon sees a body.
Okay, he'll rush forward towards it.
Okay. You rush forward, and it looks like a kind of young, maybe teenage, rough and tumble person. It is not Aaron.
It's
unconscious.
Not her. It is. So he's going to actually spend a usage of lay on hands. If you said it was unconscious.
It is an unconscious young. It is an unconscious, probably barely 18 individual. You can make a heal check to see what's up before you do your.
Sure, I'll do that. I'll make a heal check.
Okay.
I pull up my heal skill. That will be a 12.
12. 12's enough to see that while this person is definitely unconscious, they are unconscious because there's burn marks on them, and their hair kind of coming this way has been singed off back this to here, and the eyebrows are gone, and the stubble that was on there is gone.
Mazus, have you been instructing Aaron in use of fire magics potentially?
Oh, evocation? Of course. Why would I leave out a perfectly fine school like that?
Is this perhaps her handiwork?
He will evaluate the burn marks.
All right, you do that.
I'm not sure how you would tell the caster by the. Did she like spell her name in scar tissue on his forehead? Like
Aaron was here. Nice try, sucker. All right. So you go and examine it. Looks like it could be like a burning hands thing or something along those lines, maybe. Or he just got his head too close, stuck his head inside the oven, you know.
An oven that has had a leaky natural gas thing going on for a while and got lit.
To happen, I'm sure.
Is this where it ends, Emmy, or is there anything else of hers, or does the
boss is already gone.
She's already gone?
Yeah, she kept going. She went in there, pointed at it, and then went around back out the same way and went up.
Okay.
She's not kind of looking back.
Emmy will follow the sound of her.
We'll continue following along.
Are you gonna heal him? Make sure he's all right.
Is he dead?
He does not appear dead. I said he was unconscious.
Ah, he'll be fine then.
All right.
Okay.
He does look terrible, though.
Gideon's sort of thinking that this might even be poetic justice, that the guy got burned by...
Sick burn, bro.
More along the lines of he was attempting to do something and ended up getting burned.
Yeah.
All right, so you continue to follow Bessie, and let's head that way. And eventually, through another kind of, it goes up a few streets and then cuts through another alley, but it just goes straight through this time, and you're right there by the academy. And you see kind of in the academy, the fox just kind of trots right on up towards the academy.
Where has this girl been today?
All over, it seems. So Emmy will have Luvese sort of hop into the familiar satchel again. And then, Mazus, perhaps we should look around here. It seems to be where she was headed.
Yes, or she just has a scent. I mean, she did live here for quite a while, but it's worth a try, I suppose.
Okay. Go on in. Everybody goes in.
Yep.
Okay, everybody went in on this one. So, you guys, and as you go in, just to keep track with what's happening in our heads, Wayko Quink is, you guys are at the old light and you are having to show him around to where the hole is, and he insists on going down the hole.
Wait,
So,
what happens?
We're
Waco's
going down the secret passage.
Oh,
so Wayko, what?
I'm helping him into the spooky hole. But I'm going.
Okay.
I'm probably gonna go first so as to get eaten by any bat before him. No,
Okay, well,
I imagine it's a pretty nice time. It's a quiet conversation. You know.
I don't know about quiet. There's a conversation happening. I'm not sure how two-sided it is, but there is a conversation happening.
He's enjoying it.
All right, so you go down in there, and there's no craziness in there, but he does seem pretty impressed by everything and is really interested in all the walls and looking over everything. And he asks for light and stuff like that. So, accommodating as you seem to be today, he is enjoying himself and your company.
And he's probably giving you some hard candies.
Yes. A handful of Scotch mints.
And you don't suck on them, you know. You just kind of.
Yeah, I'm a mint chewer through and through. So is Wayko. That's the rule.
All right. So you go in there and you can help with that. Wayko helps with that. Back to what actually is happening in the main portion of what you guys are looking for. You guys go in, and the children are. Let me see what time it is. Yep. It's been about a trotting back and forth, probably 45 minutes, an hour. That Mazus didn't know what had happened to his ward, and a class is kind of going on the side. You see walking up above a familiar figure of the headmaster, and then doesn't seem to take notice, just turning his pages of a book.
Wow. Is that him?
Excuse me, sir. Has Aaron come by recently?
When you say sir, he snaps the book shut and says, "It's headmaster. You're back again. Has Aaron already gotten with you?" He says, coming down the stairs.
Unfortunately not. We were actually looking for her.
Oh, well, she was here not long ago, he says, reaching the bottom of the stairs. She was actually looking for permission to go into the library we have here, the arcane library that you were allowed to visit yourself. She hasn't had access to it lately, since her adoption. And she was requesting further access. I said that because she is no longer a member of the orphanage, she would need to have your written permission, as you are her guardian. And also written within that permission that you would cover any damages that might be accrued to the books. So, we can always take care of that now.
Yeah, sure. Might as well.
All right.
Hopefully he just means the written permission and not like already incurred damages.
Well, she hasn't been there yet. Shouldn't
Well,
be
not
any
with your
damages.
permission, no.
All right. So he just waits for you to write something up, giving her permission. It basically says that she has permission to use the library and that you will cover any damages to any of the books or what have you to anything that she touches. If there's any damages, you are responsible, type thing.
Yeah, that's fine. She didn't mention
Okay.
where she was going.
She said that she had to get back to the Rusty Dragon because she was going to try and surprise you with her initiative, I think is how she put it. She was trying to get to the library to learn a spell that you haven't had access to, she said, and surprise you with the scroll. So, if you do see her, might not spoil it for her. Okay?
I will try and keep my face.
He takes the note. Thank you. Is there anything else?
No, unless you don't have any means of scrying her.
No. And he starts walking back up the stairs.
Have a good day then.
Hmm.
And we leave, I believe.
Yeah, head back to the Rusty Dragon.
Right.
Okay.
So we
And-
don't really all need to go back to the dragon. We could just send one person. Whoever's the
Makes
fastest.
sense.
Isn't that you?
Touche! I will go check on the girl and meet you at the
Fly,
mill.
Birdman, fly. Okay. So, Wayko. Let me see. Let's go ahead and say that Magpie goes back to the inn and gets in there, and Aaron doesn't seem to be downstairs. The little elderly halfling is sweeping up the floor after the lunch crowd has left, taking dishes in.
Hello? I can't remember the little halfling lady's name now.
Oh yes, what is it, dear?
Has Aaron, the little girl. No, that is the wrong accent. You know the little girl that's always with Mazus? Has she been in here recently? Like in the last hour?
Oh, she's upstairs, dear, doing her work. Puts the dish. Goes into the kitchen with the dishes.
Paranoid, running all over. He walks up the stairs. And he knocks on Mazus's door, or what? Yeah, I'm assuming she sleeps in the same room as you, doesn't she?
Unfortunately, yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
It's the bird.
Mr. Magpie.
Yes. Hey, open the door. Don't just talk to me. That's so rude.
It's not locked. You can come in.
Just like him already. And he opens the door.
Meow.
Yeah, rowdy you too.
Wow.
I am 13 times your size. Aaron, over the next couple of days, maybe like the next week, don't go anywhere without letting Mazus or one of us or Amiko know about it.
Okay. I was supposed to visit Mr. Quink today. It was part
Yes.
of my.
That's just fine. Just in the future, for the next while, let someone know where you're going.
Something wrong?
I don't know yet. Probably. I mean, statistically speaking, it's not been a super calm month.
Oh, okay. She starts to get up and look around for, just kind of absentmindedly. do I need to do anything or?
No, you'll be fine. Just as long as we know where you are. We came to check on you. You're fine. We'll see you later. He backs out of the room and closes the door.
The fact he's a giant crow just accentuates all of it for me.
Yeah, it's so much.
I've
much
come
weirder.
to warn you. I've come to warn you of your impending doom.
Is something wrong?
It's you.
I don't know. Probably.
As he closes the door, nevermore.
All right, she kind of just looks at you as you leave, and fidget with her fingers, picks up the cat and kind of nervously strokes it for a second, sits back down.
So what kind of book did she swipe from that library, do you think?
Oh yeah, do I notice any strange books that don't belong to Mazus? I'm very familiar
you
with
usually
Mazus's
take
personal
His entire
belongings.
collection.
You keep a mental log of all the stuff every one of your party members has.
Is that how much is that worth? That's awful shiny. It's got a nice clasp.
All right, so you can make a perception check as you leave.
22. Or no, 24.
You don't see any new books. She seemed to be copying off of a parchment that looks a different color than the others that she has. So,
Yeah, not my problem. Be safe. Click.
all right. So let me see. I need to take a quick break, and we'll come back and get you guys hopefully started on the proper track.
This whole time. We've been
15 minutes later. She's at the end.
been there since the start, the whole time.
Oh, great.
All right.
Let's go to the sawmill then.
I suppose he was gonna meet you at the mill. He's just gotta run all the way there and then run all the way back.
So we're leaving the Wayko behind then.
Hey man, he wanted to go with the old man.
For the minute until we're done with him looking at what he's got.
It's not like we expect him to ever return anyway.
You never know.
I'll be right back. All right. Well, while Kane is out, how long are you willing to allot Wayko to working with Quink in the old light?
Honestly, Wayko's got no predilections in any way. He's just sort of happy letting Quink look around. But I can't imagine there's too much to find because I remember the room didn't open up into anything. So I'll let him look around. I'll entertain.
It doesn't open up into anything, but there are some glyphs and writings on the walls, carvings and etchings in there.
Is there any great theses that he's coming up with of any sort, or entertaining the notion of grandiosity?
He seems very excited because he keeps saying, "I was right," and there it is, proof and confirmation type thing.
I asked him about the fire towers that old Mumsy used to tell me spooky tales about, and these great Thessalonian defensive structures, and if he thinks this is any relation to those.
All right, well, he definitely tells you about that. He talks about how the Thessalonians had that ancient magic, or that they were interested in magic, thus being ancient. They are ancient magic. And he points out several times that rune that you've seen before, that seven-pointed star rune, and he calls it a Sihedron. And that's how he continuously refers to it, and talks about it being aspects of something. He's unclear at the moment what with, but definitely some information that this is he thinks this is all good stuff and this is best discovery of his recent years, best thing he's discovered since yesterday.
Nice. That's all you can hope for from a senile old man.
So he does do a lot of notes and things like that. So coming back, I guess we'll go ahead and see. You're going to end up being there if you let him dictate the time. until you start getting hungry. So
Rest assured, that'll be before too long. Here, I don't imagine Wayko's eating much.
well, you haven't had lunch yet.
Exactly.
So,
But
I don't know
I'll
if he
say to
gets-
him in such a way of, let's get some lunch. Head out of here. Come back later.
Wait, lunch. Well, could we do a working lunch?
Well, sure, but we'll need the lunch still. Here, you know what? We'll keep looking around for a little bit, but tell you what, in just a little bit here, we'll get some lunch.
But I brought
Okay.
biscuits.
Damn you, old man.
Never leave your home without a biscuit.
All right. Well, I'll enjoy some biscuits with him and belay the sawmill yet further. I'm sure you guys will be fine without me.
Well, that thundercloud's pretty handy.
Oh, it sure is. But it's just a murderer. I mean, what's the worst going to happen? Are you going to get shivved? Gideon's been shivved like 10 times already.
True. All right. So we'll say that Magpie gets back. You guys said that indicated that you were meeting at the sawmill. So we're going to go to the lumber mill now to transfer in. And Hemlock has been there waiting for you. Been probably waiting there a good, I'd have to say hour or more. So, yep. You come up there. There's a bunch of gawkers currently looking around.
I'll just ignore the gawkers.
All right. Ignore the gawkers, stride right up there.
Yes, like the important people we are.
Guards go to stop you for a second, and then they're like, "Oh," and let you in. They're just like, "Oh, we wouldn't let him in for no, let us in," type thing.
I want to see a dead body.
Mummy, is it dead bodies? Mummy. All right. So you go in. Let me see something here. All right. Perception checks, please.
Yay! This time.
Who else is doing the perception check?
I'll try, but, it'll be funny. I'm looking very intently around for a 12.
Okay. And Mazus did his. Okay. So, just in time, Magpie. So the other people are going in, and they're walking into the thing now, past the perimeter, into the lumber mill, as they've made their way through the line of mass of people that were gathered around, starting to run period in question. You also need to make me a perception check. Magpie comes up and says, she's at the inn, type thing, he said before.
She's back at the Rusty Dragon. My bird lungs.
That's how hollow.
All right.
Perception for
And what was-
28.
Okay. No one else sees it but Magpie, and out of the corner of your bird-like perception, to the right, you see slipping through the crowd and then towards the mill, as the guards aren't looking, Robert and Evan sneaking towards the lumber mill.
Damn those boys. I specifically said not to go where you're not supposed to be. How is this where you're supposed to be?
I'm so proud of them.
That's yes and no.
All right. So do you let them sneak in or no?
I'll be right back. I'll follow them through the crowd.
So I'm sure
Okay.
those three will be able to deal with this fine without us too.
Okay. Well, does Gideon need anyone?
Gideon, you're needed at the monastery.
Mazus, the academy needs you. Emmy,
Oh, no, they
performing
don't.
troupe has to have a line.
I guess the murders can wait.
So, Magpie just trots over there. You guys go on in.
23 to follow them through the crowd without them noticing me, or really,
Okay.
anyone paying attention to him.
Okay. So you said 23.
Yes.
Okay. So the older one, he goes across the little gap there and gets the side of the sawmill, isn't looking that close. The younger one gets about halfway across. You can almost see his ears go, "Plunk," and he swivels his head around and looks at your beady little bird eyes.
And I go
he
like this.
smiles. What?
Oh, I suppose you can't see my hands. They're too low.
You gave him the I'm watching you.
Oh, he says, oh, he just kind of, he started to smile and wave, and he goes, and you see him, and Evan kind of looks at, Robert kind of looks at him, and he's like, what? And then he points you out in the crowd. He's like, oh, and Robert motions you over, Magpie. He's like, no.
I go, right. One of them is dumb. He goes, he'll sneak over there.
Okay. So you sneak over, and this was a great plan, wasn't it?
What plan? What are you doing here?
Well, we started to come and see you today, and Miss Omiko said that not to go someplace we're not supposed to be.
Awesome.
That's not a double negative, right? Like, I didn't...
No, he said that. He said what you said.
Then why did you come here?
Well, the little one pipes up. Because Rogues is not supposed to be in normal places. Rogues is supposed to be where normal people isn't supposed to be. So we're supposed to be where Rogues is supposed to be.
Ah, your twisted logic is beautiful, and I hate it. Fine.
He kind of smiles.
But if you're gonna be here, you have to stay with me.
Really, Mr. Magpie?
Don't push your luck. I'm not happy. This is
Okay.
very dangerous. There have been murders. There have been more murders.
Robert looks like, oh. The little one just looks at you.
This is all I've been doing all week. What are their names? I'm just
Robert
checking this
is
right.
the older one. Evan is the younger one.
Robert. Older. Evan. Younger. Addendum. Stupid. Addendum. Smart. Addendum in
That is
trouble.
Hey, they logically did what you told them to do.
In trouble.
All right, so they kind of unstealth and kind of stand up beside you, brush themselves off. So does that mean Weeze's deputies too?
You know what? I'll see. Where were you going?
They just both kind of go, just pointing there. Rogues is supposed to go where normal people isn't supposed to go.
Well, how's his where she's gonna get theirs?
What? They just go, what?
If we're all standing up, can they see me?
Yeah, they see you stand up out of some bushes. Just kind of pop up with the dwarf, young dwarf head kind of pops up also, and then half of another dwarf head.
I step immediately in front of both of them, and I wave and I go shh, and then we're gonna go around the building.
Okay.
Well, they're supposed to be going that way.
Bent knees, heel toe. If I hear either of you, you're benched.
They're being very careful, and you ask that, and one of the deputies, as you're coming up to the door, says, "What way?" And kind of looks around.
Well, are the bodies back in there?
They're in here. Come on. And he kind of just
Okay.
starts leading you toward. All right. So you go in, and you go around to where a lot of the sawing is done, and find quite a gruesome little scene. So as you go in, the room that you find the bodies in is mainly, of course, made of wood. There is some machinery around that is used in the logging and the lumber making. Large saws and the different saw blades kind of hang there. And even in this sun, as the afternoon's starting to come in, the afternoon sun is casting those bright rays through some cracks in the ceiling and in some windows. And even as it does, the dust that swirls around gives a very odd feeling as the smell of iron catches your nose, and not the iron of the metal of the blades, but the iron of spilled blood. And the room you come into is one of the ones containing the functional equipment. And across one of the chopping blocks is a semi-dismembered corpse of a young lady, as well as, and there's also, not far from that corpse, hung up on hooks on the wall, a corpse of a man with his lower jaw ripped off or sliced off, you're not sure yet, and carvings across his body with a very prominent, what you have now come to know as Sihedron rune carved into his chest in rather deep manner. The sheriff and one of his deputies is there.
Gideon, attempting to sound nonchalant, is going to say in a rather loud voice, "If anyone is attempting to bring children in here, they probably shouldn't. It's not pretty."
Meanwhile, on the other side of the wall, Magpie is going, "Give us a lift, boys!" He's trying to reach like a high window.
Yeah, it kind of slopes down to the waterway, so you're trying to come in through one of the waterway windows, and you're there on the shore pushing you and stuff like that. So you probably hear that, but whether you heed the warning or not is up to you.
Well, I gotta see it.
Yeah.
I'm a grown bird. I can make decisions for other people.
I'm not a hatchling. Don't tell me what to do.
Emmy's gonna gag quite a bit as she gets a whiff of the iron and she comes in.
Okay. Fortitude save.
Fortitude save? Alright.
Yep. You outside you hear Emmy give a groan, and you hear the
the wet noise of vomit hitting floor.
Yep.
So I kind of figure as Magpie gets a hold of like a ledge or something to pull himself up through. Yeah, I'm not a hatchling. You can't tell me what to. Oh my Bismara's tits! He just lets go of the ledge. Boys, you need to go home.
On them, boys. Oh, but you said we could come in.
Boys, you need to go home right now.
Oh, we're supposed to be sneaky.
I know, boys, but you can't see what's in there. That's not. You go home right now, and I tell your parents what you've been doing.
The little one asks, "Is it a dead body?"
Yes, several. Why are you so interested?
He's going to take the assassination stream.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Well, he kind of shrugs and looks at you.
He wants to look at the craftsmanship.
Well, that's incredibly morbid, and maybe when you're a little older. Seriously, go home.
You kind of pouty face, and they kind of walk off. They don't even bother stealthing. They just walk around the corner and huff. "What are you boys doing back there? Get out of there." They don't even speed up. They just kind of plump, 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 walk on.
Mazus will cast prestidigitation to kind of milden the stench.
Okay.
Thank you, Mazus.
Oh, no worries, no worries. This one is free of charge.
Is this Paladin here? I just know it's gruesome.
Smells more like a slaughterhouse than a mill.
They all look at you as you come in the window. Kind of like, why is he coming in the window? Eh.
You know what? There was a reason I've lost it.
For some reason, this smells a lot like Thistletop. I mean,
No, not enough roasted flesh.
Yeah.
I thought I was going to teach the boys something, and then this happened. You know, it felt like a teachable moment right up until the wholesale slaughter.
So, taking a closer look after bracing himself.
Okay.
Addendum to
any-
younger brother.
Any further details of what possibly happened here
Necromania.
and how?
Well, the sheriff goes on to explain a bit. They were found by some of the night workers, Harker and Thorn. They worked late that night, and they usually worked late. So this had to happen fairly late, much later into the evening. The young lady is not a young lady that is unknown to the town. She is actually Vin Vender's daughter, not the one that's been trying to get with Magpie, the other one. The more, it's hard to say respectable, but the more respectable of the two.
The flirtier of the the non-flirtier of the two.
The less flirtier one. Though you can make me a knowledge local if anybody wants to.
yep. So that's 13 plus 17.
17. All right. She's been word around town is, for anybody that got a 15 or higher, word around town is that she's kind of been having a semi-secret affair with the owner of the mill.
Scandalous.
Yes, his name is
What ho?
Benny
Not
Harper.
going to be.
Wouldst thou perchance take a gander under my frock?
Local man balls.
What
What
was-
a scoop.
What was his name again?
The owner's name was Benny Harper, of the Harker and Thorn. So Thorn had already went home. Many people around town didn't like that they ended up working late because
Mhm.
it kept them up. The mill itself gets fed the timber by a small pier, and that's where this is kind of where this happened.
Can we take a look around to see if there's any signs or any?
Any clues?
Yes, other clues.
Clues? You want to get some? Okay.
Clues, if possible, but
So are we going to take? Are we going to take a while for this? Is this like a take 20 situation, or what's happening?
if somebody does anything else, but Gideon's going to definitely take a 20.
Okay.
Now I'll chance it. I've got a plus 12 to perception. I feel like I'll do okay no matter what.
All right.
Emmy'll take 20 as long as she can sort of aid with the prestidigitation.
Aid with the prestidigitation. Okay.
Yeah, make it less smelly.
All right. So you do that. You go ahead and look around. What was your roll, Magpie?
Oh, piss. 17 total.
All right. So you look around, and it's not hard to find the footprints, though by taking some time, you guys with survival are able to pick out some. So you find some interesting, some points of interest. The rune, of course, on the man, but there's some information, some things along the timber pier, the murder scene itself. Katrine's body, yields some information. It appears that she must have come in after. There's Harker's body. There's this suspicious axe, and you think you might be able to find a few things in the marsh itself around the lumber mill, but that would be something you'd have to go looking for also. So what would you like to look at know about first? The timber pier, the murder scene as a whole, the rotten smell that seems to be around, the body of the woman, Harker's body, the suspicious axe, or do you want to go to the marsh first?
I'm
I mean-
curious as to what's so suspicious about an axe and a lumber mill.
Well, I may use some detect magic to sort of scan what's going on, see if there's any sort of magical signs of any sort.
Okay. As you detect magic, Harker's body, especially close to the Sihedron rune, ticks off.
All right, if that's the case, I will more information as the rounds go on.
Okay. So
So,
you can make me a knowledge arcana then. And yeah.
make knowledge arcana checks to determine the school of each magic involved.
While he's doing that, Gideon's also going to start also paying for evil.
Oh yeah. It's not like it's there right now, but it's like a residue left behind.
He's going to try to use the skill, like do the extra rounds to try to see if he can start pinpointing anything. I'll take a look in terms of the actual reading, but if I remember correctly.
So as you take a few more rounds, and you take a few more rounds, Emmy, for the knowledge on the Arcana, you both are able to come to the conclusion that this was some kind of ritual, some kind of dark ritual involving the Sihedron rune.
Do I get any school for the knowledge?
It's more divine in nature. There is some Arcana mixed in there, kind of. So
Okay.
The closest identifying thing you can get to it is maybe necromancy.
Okay. I will warn Gideon of this just in case one of the bodies decides to jump up and attack us.
Okay. Well, it has been several hours.
Okay.
And the vendor girl is, like I said, fairly, not fully dismembered, but pieces of her are not where they're supposed to be. So
Gideon's going to go to one of the sheriffs. Before you do any more cleanup here, I would highly recommend getting one of the clerics from the temple to come here and sanctify whatever was done here. This was not a normal murder. This was not a normal murder. This was a ritual of some sort.
They look. Hemlock looks over at his deputy and he says, "We'll get Father Sanders and make sure he comes here." Deputy nods and they go on to go and get him.
From there, you said there was also an axe.
Mhm.
Okay.
Appears to be an axe, and it's embedded in the floor at the moment near a long wood splitter, and it's like it was just dropped there. The handle is covered in blood, but the bloody prints that it's covered in, they appear to be smaller. And upon examination, they are probably the hands of the vendor girl and not a larger male.
Okay.
So it's not something that Parker was doing.
Is there anything else suspicious about it, or is there anything else noteworthy?
There is that stench, that rotten smell. Just appears to be kind of a smell in general in this area, and it's not the bodies themselves. Their stink hasn't really begun yet. But it still smells like rotten flesh, especially certain areas. And as you kind of think about it and focus on it, as you start to investigate different things like his body and the body of the girl and the axe seems to have that stench on it, and not where it was handled, but rather as if it was thrown, just kind of grabbed and thrown by a smelly hand. And then there are claw marks along the body, those markings along the body that are not the Sihedron rune of Harker. Those slashes, that smell emanates from them, even though the body's smell has not started yet.
This is certainly weird.
How large are the claw marks?
I guess, yeah. How long are they? How big are they? I'll take a look.
That would be a heal check.
Sure. So for heal, that is a 14.
14. You can tell that there are claw marks, and they appear to come from not from like an animal claw, but rather like there were 5 fingers raked across, 5 digits that raked across him in different intervals.
Medium sized or
Hard to tell by the spread. I mean, they're just kind of on there, but you can tell that there's a distinct 5.
don't we let
Is there a
that
way to destroy this? Or are we wanting this for evidence?
Well, I'd hate to leave the body up there.
I'll go retrieve it.
Why
Okie
don't we
dokie.
let the fox take a whiff at this?
Well, there's certainly something to be said for that. Maybe we can track whatever made this stench.
It's not a bad idea. I guess Emmy will have Luvese sniff sort of at the axe where it was thrown,
Okay.
sort of
So
trail on there.
She seems to definitely get the sense. She seems to know what smell you're talking about, though the blood is harder for her to get through. So go ahead and give me a survival check if you want her to start tracking.
Okie dokie. 22.
All right, 22. So it's definitely able to catch the scent and keep the scent for a little while. It goes around, it sniffs some footprints, and you guys see the footprints, and they are definitely medium sized. They are barefoot footprints and kind of wet. So you think that it may be something may have come in through the marsh. You're pretty sure that you can track the footprints, but as far as keeping the scent through the marsh, you're not so sure about that. Do you guys want to go ahead and pursue through the marsh or look more here?
It's a good question.
Let's look at the marsh.
Just quickly before we go, tell the sheriff what we found.
Okay.
Is there anyone who would want either of these two dead? Or are we thinking this is also in conjunction with Deckar?
Whoa.
I'm not saying that you're involved. I'm simply saying that whoever has perpetrated this seems to have something against you or for you or something.
As far as I see it, I'm being framed here.
And I will be the first one to say how honest and goodly a person you are, Deckar. We both know this.
Exactly.
There is no way you would be could possibly have done anything similar to this ever.
That's right. There are no monetarily beneficials to this, to me. Why would I spend all energy and this is nonsense.
Plus, murder of goodly folk is simply not in your nature. And Gideon believes this. This is the best part.
Believes it wholeheartedly. My good friend Mazus. All right. So, you guys do that. And you inform him of it. He's not sure himself what all went on here because there were some other. There doesn't appear to be a connection between this and between this person and the other person that was killed before, or the other set of people that were killed before. And at first he had the sheriff had suspected Ben Vender, the man's the daughter, the woman's father that was killed here. But that's only because that's the only connection to anyone else in town that appears to be there. He did question Ivor Thorne, who is the other worker here, the other owner and worker here, but he didn't really suspect him. There didn't seem to be any kind of motivating factors.
Fair enough.
The marsh then.
All right.
Yeah, I'm guessing we're gonna have to follow the tracks
as best we can.
Sounds like a plan.
Who's leading the way?
All right.
Who's the best tracker?
Well, currently the fox is leading the way because that's who rolled. So she kind of goes and runs around the side and starts sniffing. And she's gonna lead you around, and she tracks through the marsh. Okay. It is. You can tell she has to stop a few more times, really get a good sniff in. But she does. She is able to bring you guys to a relatively dry spot that bears a number of barefoot human tracks, or they look human tracks. I will neither confirm nor deny their humanity. Barefoot humanoid tracks and lingering stink also of that rotten flesh smell.
Well, if we're following this fox into the woods, the marsh, I will draw my sword and follow.
All right.
As will
Stock is
I.
back. All y'all stuff is back.
Yes.
So y'all all come up to this spot here,
Whatever that spot is.
the relatively dry spot. All right, make me a fortitude save, everybody. Then
Ugh.
I got a 13. All right,
And we got a 13. Luvese got a 19.
everybody except the Fox and Gideon are sickened for 2 minutes.
Oh,
Oh wait, no, 6 minutes.
oh,
Well,
So yeah, the stench is that bad. Apparently, this creature had stayed a little while here.
There's a pile.
I hope not.
No, there's no
Well-
pile. But it spent time doing who knows what.
Okay.
Can I make any knowledge checks to pick my brain of any kind of creature that would emit such a potent smell?
Sure. You can roll me a knowledge religion,
24.
knowledge dungeoneering.
I might have that one.
20.
All right. Okay. So you kind of rack your brain for a minute, and you think about it, and yeah, there's a creature like this, a necromantic creature, and that makes sense with what she said about that's necromantic magic connected to that, because there are several types of creatures that have this powerful stench, and you know that there's things like ghouls, some zombies, some creatures that kind of fit this mold that you're seeing. So
Ghasts.
Yes.
ghouls, zombies,
It's
ghasts.
It's quite evident that this is most likely a being of undead heritage.
which means that it could be controlled by someone else.
Certainly, possibility. Yes.
Well, some undead is smart enough to act on their own. This might be independent. Can we
right.
please move away from here?
Gideon, I would say that though your character is not smart, he could, now that you know it is undead, you might want to make a religion roll as well.
Yeah, I'll definitely make a religion check. I was just waiting for that all to sort of play out here.
Okay.
So my skill on that would be a knowledge religion for a total of 19.
You get about the same information, and you concur with the idea that it is probably a creature that is humanoid, undead, uncertain on what specific one, though.
Well, it's definitely undead. And he's going to take a look around and notice everybody sort of heaving. Come here. I can get rid of that. and he'll lay on hands anybody who wants to be cured of sickness.
No, I love it. Throwing up in my mouth.
It's awesome.
It's refreshing.
My mom used to do it for me all the time.
He's right, you know.
So I take it all four are going to take part of that.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank God for mercy sickened.
There you go.
Can we follow the tracks further, or is this kind of where they die out?
You can. Luminescence goes a bit further if you want her to. It eventually gets into the trees, and a couple brooks are crossed, and the smell just she can't keep going with it. It's a strong smell, but it gets overpowered after it's ran through the water and other things like that. So,
Do we have tracks?
you did have tracks. You can make a separate survival roll than hers to try and keep track of them, where she did roll fairly good.
Will do.
Just assist.
Yeah, I'll roll to assist.
Well,
I assist.
Okay, so you assist. Let's see. I have to look stuff up then.
can we kind of discern which direction this trail is leading? Is it taking like the direct path from somewhere, or is it deliberately trying to go in a more indirect path?
It appears like it's kind of zigzagging a little bit. There's this general, I guess arch would be the best way to describe it. General moving towards the same direction, and it starts to lead downward. And with y'all's checks, assisting Luminescence, that means that you guys get to bypass a few things. And
Bypass some XP?
Yeah, are we bypassing XP? Are we bypassing magic items? Because if that, we want to go back.
Yeah. I thought I heard something over there.
I'm not confirming or denying anything. You follow the trail, and with that good of a roll, that would mean that you probably would track it all the way, and you come to an old manor.
Which direction are we going? South or
Well,
east?
I can actually pull up the Dilly Mabobber.
Ooh, the Dillamabobber.
Yes,
That's my favorite mabobber.
Them Mabobbers, I tell you what.
Now you reminded Gideon of Dylan.
Oh.
So not okay.
You follow this for about 3 miles or more. You're not particularly sure.
Oh wow.
Damn, we're good.
Yeah. Well, you guys rolled to help a fox track, so it's not exactly super difficult, but let me make sure I'm on the right thing.
Okay, so it looks like the marsh is actually of Sandpoint.
It is
Southern
on
Sandpoint.
Yes.
Yeah, it's east of Sandpoint.
Oh, right. The thing is twisted.
Yeah.
It always throws me off.
Yep.
It's east?
The sawmill is 25, I believe, on the map.
Yes, that's not what I'm looking for. I'm actually looking for the place that you guys went to. Because you went north of the city, actually. So you went, started going way north of the city.
What the hell is
It led you
25?
around.
How did we go north of the city? Like north back towards Thistletop?
Yes, actually. You went
Okay.
off the marsh here at 25. You went off the thing here where the marsh is at 25. Followed it around. It actually crossed over the bridge, went behind the cemetery, through these woods, And because you guys were assisting, that's technically almost a 30 or so. It continued north more. You guys want to follow it way out of town?
Oh,
What do you want to do here?
Yeah. We're not gonna do this any other time.
Oh, so we're not waiting, man. We're going right now. Okay. Well, this takes long enough to where we're going to cut back just a minute to Wayko, because
Hopefully,
Wayko has been sitting there. It's been sitting
Wait,
there
wasn't
for hours
Wayko
now.
meeting? Wasn't Wayko? Oh, he's still there. He didn't actually meet up with us at the.
he's got this big
Okay, I
dumb
thought he
grin
did.
still. He has not lost the grin, but it's just slowly faded to the point where he's just like leaning on a rock.
Okay,
Like,
so I
okay.
back a usage of my lay on hands.
And at one point or another, I guess he's gonna end up, trying to drag old Broderd on out of there.
Oh, where are we going now, boy? Where are we going now?
Check up on my friends. I'm afraid they may have all been murdered, so I have to make sure that I get all their things. Oh yes, actually, there's a murder afoot.
What?
I don't know what to do about this.
Oh, goodness. Oh. This is not the time for research. We should be at home.
Exactly,
Come on.
but isn't it good that we got some research done? Isn't it?
Oh, yes. Well, no, they're not likely to come down here. And he starts to waddle slowly back in there. I bet we're pretty safe down here.
Yes, we are, but we could maybe check back later.
Later? Tomorrow?
Of course, tomorrow. We'll make a date out of it. I'll be the one bringing biscuits next time as well. So.
Oh, no, I couldn't ask you for that. If we're going to come, we'll have a full expeditioner's meal. Come on.
Be grand.
Let's do this.
Indeed. So I guess he helps him back through the hole, and he'll meander back the direction of his house with him.
Okay.
Hopefully, I'm just going to look for the crow or the paladin, or really, we're pretty, it should be easy to see us across a field.
Okay. So what's the old light's way over here, and then you had to go all the way to 25. So you're making your way to 25.
Yeah.
And when you get there, the sheriff is coming out. The crowd is starting to disperse, and they're shooing them away. And they're starting to take. They're starting to bring sheets in to wrap the bodies in. Father Xantus is in there doing his blessings and things like that. And you see Hemlock there, just kind of watching over outside the room.
The good Sharif. Good afternoon, Sharif. I don't suppose if you've seen my companions recently.
Oh, I wondered where you were.
No, I was
You were what?
Taking care of Broder.
Oh. That was not what I expected to hear. They went tracking to find the murderer.
Naturally. Okay. Well, I guess I can try some tracking of my own and see if did they come out. They came out of the old mill here.
Yes, they went over there in the marshes and went up. Saw them go up and around, but I lost them after they started north.
Righteously so. That's the way I'll go. And hey, don't you ever question my membership of this community, by the way. I put in more salt than most.
Yeah, in our gardens, he says as he walks away.
How else am I going to grow a salt tree, you crazy old curmudgeon? All right, let's see. So I guess he can probably just slop his way from that little dock across from the marsh there. And is he maybe able to poke around for some I don't know, black feathers? A trail of feathers?
Well, it won't be nearly as hard for you because they're not trying to be stealthy. They're following tracks. So
Why do you just assume I'm molting at all times?
have
You
met
give off
birds?
a manic energy. I got a modified 18.
That should be enough to continue to follow their track for a while.
Okay.
You see it, and you follow basically the same thing. They are pretty much an hour ahead of you in time lapse. So we need to them to decide what they're doing. Are they continuing to follow the tracks?
Well, we don't want them to get cold.
I would do so.
Okay.
We'll see. I thought for some reason that Wayko was actually with us and just being abnormally quiet. So I'm actually going to. I would actually suggest that we leave a trail of breadcrumbs, tread slowly and carefully, but move forward.
At your suggestion of breadcrumbs, I'm sure that Magpie's eyes go.
What?
The crumbs?
Who has crumbs?
Is something wrong? I don't know. Probably.
Okay.
Statistically speaking, that's our luck, really.
Okay. So you guys continue forward, I suppose. But you leave enough trail behind you?
Okay.
Okay.
Moving forward slowly and with determination and hopefully some amount of stealth and or perception. I look up
Are
at
you
the ceiling.
stealthing and perceiving?
Okay.
Yeah. You look up at the ceiling. It's a guy! It's so blue! Is that a dragon or a bird? I don't know. I'm not perceptive.
It's all a matter of perspective, really. It could be a very close bird or a very far away dragon.
All right. So,
I hope it's both of those things. A bird dragon, but very far away.
so that means we've got to decide if you're being stealthy or not. If you're being stealthy, then you gotta let me know. That will determine how quickly Wayko is able to catch up with you.
I would personally say that if we're going deep into unknown territory, moving stealthily may be not a bad call.
But then again, we suck at it.
But if we do it as a group, we have Magpie roll, and he rolls at a -2.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hmm.
But you still move at half speed. So you basically half your speed.
How about
stealth.
How about
I can
we-
acrobatics through it.
Plus, the
Water.
noisiest one of us is not here currently.
No, you're here.
Damn
Yeah,
it!
come on, flanker. Wow.
All right. Oh, I am sorry, guys. You did not go north. You went south.
Yeah, I
That's
thought
my
so.
fault.
Oh, okay.
I had to look at the N on the compass. You went not even south. You went south out of Sandpoint, and then it leads. I'll show you the show to players. So you went Sandpoint's right there, up by the old light. Dragon's Punch Bowl is right there at the very top of the map. You go down. There's Old Light and Sandpoint. You're moving down. And how far do you want to go?
So we're going west.
Southwest.
You're traveling by foot, going southwest at the moment. You have hit the world map. Boom, boom, boom.
Shit.
Oh no.
Music change.
Oh,
We need-
okay.
We need to fast travel.
This is when we roll randomly,
Yes.
we'll die.
Okay.
Yeah, we know
No
who's gonna
questions
roll
about
randomly.
triple zeros. That's my only rule.
Triple O. If you have like a numerical nickname now, Mal, it's going to be Triple O.
Ooh.
I mean, I imagine that we'll keep going as long as there's tracks to follow. I
Yeah.
mean, if it gets dark, I guess we might make camp. But,
Yeah, there's been murders. This is important in junk.
That's going southwest.
Yeah, especially since somebody hasn't picked up his cart.
it wasn't
Does it lead them along
finished.
that little dotted trail? The little dotted trail to the south of the Raven's Roost? That's sort of the direction we're going. That's the southwest.
No,
Oh, that
That
would
is
be...
not where you're going.
we're going.
Oh.
That you are following the dark brown line.
Yeah, that's what I figured. Because Raven's Roost would just kind of be south of us.
We're like walking towards the mountain.
Towards Cougar Creek,
Yeah,
who is into older riverbeds.
which sounds lewd.
I like
I was
how
not
both
thinking
you and
that.
Alex went for the same joke.
Yeah.
I wasn't even
So-
thinking that until you said something.
So sorry, we're heading towards the mountain range, is what you're saying?
Yep.
Okay. And the
So
marsh
you
was
guys
what
doing-
the in between of Sandpoint and that little peak there on the map.
Well, it's just that little bitty part right there that you saw on the Sandpoint map that
Okay.
had that marshy part, and then you go down and around, and you're heading out. So I
Okay.
mean, you didn't tell anybody you were leaving, but okay.
Well, we told the sheriff that we were following the tracks through the marsh.
Okay.
Aaron's going to be having
you wanna do?
cookies for dinner.
However you
Hemlock,
wanna
Now,
do it.
Miko will take care of her.
Hemlock doesn't even pay us anymore.
You have
Good
it's not his
Sharif.
fault. You don't pick up your money. Not his fault. He is not your payman. You go to the mayor to get your money.
Yeah, we don't need the
So-
man.
So okay, if we go back to the Sandpoint City map, just for my own edification, we went down into the marshy area here, and then further south.
Yeah, also,
Down
these are
the
like
south.
straight up the tiniest mountains.
Well, yeah.
Or it's a longer road than we thought. to get
Well,
to-
no, well, I just now noticed the scale on the bottom right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
they're more
that's
like foothills.
Like these mountain ranges, I figured were a lot bigger considering how big they
Well,
are.
the
But
small one, Raven's Roost and the pyre that you're in right now, they are part of the Devil's Platter right there.
oh yeah, just like
So
that section of road takes us like 30 minutes to
Um,
get through instead of
I
like the 4 hours I figured
I
it
will-
would.
No,
Two
if
and-
this is actually going, like, if we're going this far out, I'd almost like, because I'm not sure how far we're going out. So,
and will you lose the scent or not?
because if we're going this far out, and depending on how much further it goes, we could lose the scent. And maybe it's a better idea to make sure that we're stocked up.
I'll follow it until we lose it. I mean, just scrounge for food, man. Have you never been camping before?
Yeah.
All right.
We brought chicken and fox.
No, the chicken's not here yet.
Yeah, and I
No,
brought
like-
long pork and skinny
No,
wizard.
but that is the other thing though, is that I think Gideon would realize that we're missing somebody, and it's like, well, we might want to go back for the guy.
All right. Well, you're on a road now. You guys kind of started following the road, and the smell is still trackable at the moment, as far as you can tell. So about 30 minutes into your sneaking, as long as you continue sneaking for about 30 minutes, you hear way off in the distance somebody going. You just walking down the road, following some big heavy tracks. I assume that's how Wayko would be walking down the road.
Yeah, or arguing with the chicken. So I'll give you that.
In between whistles, he argues with the chicken.
Because she'll argue that he's off tone, and he'll argue back, and I'll say, "Where are these guys?" And I'll just start shouting, "Guys, are you up here, guys?
Hey, you guys!
Hey, you guys?" No, no.
Some of the
But he
jerk
will be
bitch
whistling
walk.
pretty casual about it, you know. He has very little fear.
All right.
I was just about to suggest that Magpie could run back and message him.
Magpie is
We
pretty
we
fast.
already did that bit. Don't you know
Alright.
expeditious retreat or something? Why don't you run?
Magpie just sprints back. He's like out of breath. Like, I got a message. Is he tied it to my foot?
He's got one of Mazus' scrolls on his foot.
No,
I
no,
was
So-
gonna say no,
no,
but
the
it
other
seemed
foot.
easier than carrying it.
The other foot. That's not where you are. The other foot.
All right. Well, with you guys following that, we will.
So are we still following it?
I guess.
Yeah.
I'm thinking we should make some kind of marker where we last saw it. Go back to town, pick up some supplies like food, rations, stuff like that.
Make sure people know where we are.
Well, I think we're mostly just following the road right now.
Yeah, y'all could forage for
Precisely.
berries.
If this is mostly the road itself, then it should be easy enough to get back here. Once the rest of it's been taken care of.
I'm just saying we're losing time if we go back to city.
Yeah.
Town.
You know how many people travel on this road on a daily basis?
Everything that you can buy for food in town is gathered out of the countryside here. So if we want to get some smoked fish, let's go pull some fish out of the water. Says Magpie to the chicken.
Wayko to the chicken.
Yeah,
Sure.
we talk bird at each other.
No, your mother was a sparrow.
Chickadee dee dee.
I am Henryetta, Queen of Darkness. Tremble before my realm.
You're an overgrown pigeon.
You will be the
Next
first
character.
to suffer, but the last to die.
Wayko's next character is Henryetta.
Mike, see how it goes.
An awakened chicken sorcerer.
I do want to play a character who's an awakened creature that actually has a human as a familiar. But all right,
I tried for a long time to play an awakened golem until we realized how incredibly overpowered they were.
The cat with a butler that just carries around like a brainless butler.
There's
but you
a
gotta
build
play it
for
up if
that.
The cat's not.
Isn't that for 3.5? There's definitely a build for that.
There is. I don't know what it is, but there is. All right, that's not on subject. The subject now is you guys are tracking this creature. So I need someone to roll me a D100.
I'll do
I
it.
hate you. It's not going to be you, Malcolm. Not you. Not
25.
25.
25.
All right. Let me see. Let's see.
Low numbers are a good thing, I'm assuming. I hope so.
Depends on how much XP you want.
It's one goblin, covered in loot.
As long as it is not the Sandpoint Devil, I'm good.
It's the Sandpoint Diva.
All right.
Is it a loot goblin?
Yeah.
A loot goblin. Different. It's a subclass of goblin. You know.
Yeah, man. Haven't you ever played a gauntlet before? You don't want to just beat the crap out of a loot goblin?
Or Diablo.
Yeah, Diablo.
Yeah, Diablo. That's what it was.
All right. So, you guys continue walking till nighttime. It takes hours, unless you
boy.
stop. So, you walk for miles and miles and miles,
100 miles.
and
500 miles even.
and- no, not that. No. That'd be like a huge time skip. All right. So let me see. To walk that far, you come to Foxglove River, way down. You walk all the way
Man, he's
past.
so
Ashen
rich he has
Lawn.
his own river.
That was a hell of a dream.
Foxglove.
Yes, that pompous poofto we ran into earlier. He took us hunting and we were eviscerated by boar.
Well, that's certainly a little disconcerting.
But there's
Well-
still tracks leading, but this is where we're at when it's dark.
It's not necessarily tracks. It's right around sunset. You get to this offshoot. It kind of here at the Lost Coast Road, right where this dotted line end is near the R. You break off towards the north along the Foxglove River, and about where the F is on Foxglove River, it is basically sundown right here. So, you guys can camp for the night or not. It's up to you.
Might as
Or you can
well.
keep on going.
Can't track in the
The
dark.
smell is you're tracking by smell, and the smell is getting strong. You can tell the smell is a bit stronger.
Wayko's gonna snort and go, perhaps 'tis a gilded noble that we seek. But to any question of our own, should we continue on in the dark to the manor, which is where I bet we might be going? Or do we try to spend a night to recuperate simply from our long walk? I can gather firewood, and the chicken can gather birdseed. Can all eat
I'm fairly confident I could grant us all lodging at Foxglove's Manor.
Yeah, let's let's spend the night there. Yeah, let's do it. And oh, that's great. No,
Yeah, I mean, according to this map, we're only about 1.5 miles away. Shouldn't take us more than 20 minutes.
yeah, it's like the only place, that's over here. We're following murder and all. No, let's go to Foxglove Manor and see if they'll put
Yeah, let's do it. I vote for Foxglove Manor.
Me too.
Who's panting?
Let's hear that. At least it's not a die falling this time.
You hear leathery wings.
I vote for a place that isn't a giant demon horse.
And we'll cut there
God damn it.
because we are going to find out what it is next time, maybe. Possibly.
That 25 had better not have been also the demon.
25, 50, 75, 100.
Every result on that table is the Sandpoint Devil.
Looking forward to when we get to that manor and there's a bunch of portraits with the little eyes that follow you as you walk by.
Ba-dum, ba-dum. Ba-dum, ba-dum.
Okay, so thank you. We're going to cut right there. Thank you, everyone, for watching. For those of you that have been through the Skinsaw murders, you will know that what they just did has definitely fast forwarded this little bit of the.
Oh yes. We skipped like 20 pages a chapter.
That's why, if you buy these things, people, don't be upset if your players just kind of pass things in there. Because, man.
Well, I imagine it must have been 20 pages of us questioning every bumbling maid in town for, I did see Mr. Foxglove headed out upon the road. Or we could just ask the fox.
What does the fox say? It was Foxglove!
Apparently.
All right. So, all right, everyone. So we are headed towards Foxglove Manor, but they hear wings on the wind. Large, leathery wings on the wind. So we'll see what that is next time.
They're the wings of
Sandpoint Devil.
opportunity
Experience.
and friendship.
It is the wings of experience.
That are gonna sweep us to the next level.
Yes, to a deck of many things that only have the sun card in it.
All right. Well, you will be getting some experience for this session. Kind of. It'll be sitting there, but you haven't rested or done anything. We kind of established during the Thistletop portion that rest is required to level up.
It's the kind of experience you get right after you've had your ass kicked.
We were going to rest until some kind of griffin bat started poking its head into our cliffhanger.
You were going to rest at Foxgloves, which is still like 40 minutes away walking for
Gosh
sure.
darn it. Well, we better be fast runners.
No, I am. I don't know about the rest of you.
Emmy is still encumbered because there's a certain item she doesn't have yet.
Yes, well, no, you're not encumbered because you're not carrying your money.
No, I am.
Yeah, she kept carrying the familiar bag makes her heavy.
You
Oh,
can't
you're
handle money, dear. Let me do it.
Here,
Well,
let
I
me
mean-
handle that for you.
I don't. She's fiscally responsible, but like this is 5 pounds of platinum, and
Magpie
She
gets
is-
her one of the 3 credit cards.
I mean you. I mean this in the kindest way possible, but you are straight up pathetic. Just physically disappointing.
Ouch.
You're going to emotionally traumatize her into being a bodybuilder.
I
She's gonna-
cast fist.
She's gonna put all of her points that she gets, her attribute points, into strength from
Strength.
now on.
Yeah, and by the end of the game, she'll be as strong, maybe slightly weaker than Magpie.
Beefarelda's on the protein. Don't you look now. You're in big trouble.
All right. Well, we need to say goodbye to the viewers because they've got stuff to do, I'm sure. And this
Yes.
isn't getting anywhere in the story. And we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. All right. Thank you for watching, travelers. We welcome you back again next time. And do we have anything to say to them before they leave the end of Planar Crossroads?
If you're gonna obey the encumbrance rules, don't dump strength.
Whack, sugar, and smack. Give me a slap, and I'll slap you back.
All right,
But
everyone.
learn to slap dance and don't relax, because the slap comes back if you don't relax.
That's how we end.
Okay, so we need to say goodbye to the travelers. Goodbye, travelers.
Goodbye, travelers.
Watch out for devils.
Crossroads /YouTube, IOPC. Get us on the Twitter. Get it in you. Get the knowledge. Love it dearly.
Don't let the slap come back.